My friends, let me speak to you today of a truth so profound, yet so often overlooked. The standards you set for yourself determine the life you lead. Your standards are the silent architects of your destiny. They whisper in the shadows, shaping your choices, forging your future. If you are dissatisfied with the conditions of your life, do not despair. Do not curse the circumstances or blame fate. Look inward and examine the standards you have accepted. You see, your standards are the invisible threshold of what you will tolerate. They are the measuring rod of your desires and the gateway to your success. It is said that if you wish to elevate your results, you must first elevate your standards. This is the iron law of success. To achieve more, you must expect more of yourself. Demand excellence in your work, integrity in your conduct, and courage in your decisions. Do not permit yourself to settle for mediocrity, for you will always receive exactly what you are willing to tolerate. Remember, my friends, that every decision you make is a reflection of your standards. The foods you eat, the company you keep, the thoughts you entertain, all reveal what you truly believe you deserve. If your standards are low, your results will match. If your standards are high, your life will transform. But let me be clear, raising your standards is not a fleeting wish or idle daydream. It is a solemn commitment, a declaration of what you will accept from yourself and from the world. And it requires consistent action. For it is not enough to proclaim new standards. You must live them, breathe them, make them the very marrow of your bones. Surround yourself with those who live by high standards. Let their example inspire you. Let their expectations strengthen your resolve. In the company of such individuals, you will find your own standards rising to meet theirs. Like iron sharpens iron, so too will the standards of others fortify your own. Above all, my friends, remember this: action is the final measure of your standards. You cannot wish your way to greatness. You must act your way there. Each bold decision, each unwavering effort, each steadfast refusal to compromise, these are the tools by which your standards are transformed into reality. So I urge you today, raise your standards. Demand more of yourself. Accept nothing less than the highest expression of your talents and dreams. For when you change your standards, you change your life. And that, my friends, is the path to true fulfillment. My friends, let us pause to truly understand the profound power that standards hold in our lives. Standards are the silent rules we set for ourselves, the quiet yet unyielding boundaries that define what we will accept and what we will reject. They shape our identity, mold our character, and chart the course of our destiny. From the moment we rise in the morning to the final thoughts we entertain before sleep, our standards govern our behavior, our habits, and ultimately, the results we see in the world around us. The power of standards lies not in what we say, but in what we do. They are the invisible framework that guides our every action. If you have low standards, you will find yourself surrounded by mediocrity and compromise, for life reflects back to you exactly what you are willing to tolerate. But when you raise your standards, when you demand more from yourself and your environment, you begin to witness a profound transformation. You start to see the world not as it is, but as it can be, a world that mirrors the elevated expectations you hold within your heart. This power is not a secret known only to the privileged few. It is available to each of us. It does not require wealth or status, only the unwavering decision to refuse to accept anything less than what we know we are capable of. Standards are a declaration of self-respect and self-worth. They announce to the world, "This is who I am and this is what I deserve." And the world in turn listens and responds. Consider this: every achievement, every success story you admire is built upon a foundation of high standards. Those who achieve greatness do not stumble upon it by accident. They demand it of themselves. They hold themselves to a higher standard in their work, in their relationships, and in their service to others. They do not permit laziness or excuses to creep into their lives, for they know that their standards are the measure of their future. This power of standards is yours to wield, my friends. It requires courage, for to raise your standards is to confront the fear of failure, the fear of standing alone. But understand this: the world respects those who stand for something greater than themselves. When you raise your standards, you do not merely change your habits, you change your entire experience of life. Your relationships grow richer, your work more fulfilling, and your confidence more unshakable. Remember, standards are not just ideals written in a book, they are living truths etched into the fabric of your daily choices. In every decision, in every interaction, your standards speak louder than words. So choose them wisely, for they hold the power to unlock your greatest potential and shape a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. When you decide to raise your standards, you set a new benchmark for what is possible in your life. No longer do you accept excuses or half-hearted efforts. You step boldly into the realm of excellence and demand more of yourself than ever before. This decision to raise your standards creates a powerful shift in your results, for the quality of your outcomes is always in direct proportion to the standards you hold. Understand this. Your results in any area of life are not determined by luck or chance. They are the natural outgrowth of your standards. When you expect more, you give more. When you demand better, you do better. It is a simple yet profound principle. The higher you set the bar, the greater the effort you summon, and the more extraordinary your achievements become. This process begins with a single, unwavering decision to no longer tolerate anything less than your best. In your work, this means refusing to settle for average and striving instead for mastery. In your relationships, it means demanding honesty, respect, and love in all your connections. In your health, it means holding yourself to habits that nourish and strengthen your body and mind. These are not small changes. They are the building blocks of an entirely new way of life. Raising your standards is not a one-time event, it is a daily practice. Each morning, you must remind yourself of the person you have decided to become. Each day, you must act in alignment with the higher standards you have chosen. This consistency is the secret to transforming your life, for it is not enough to wish for better results. You must live in a way that compels them to appear. As you raise your standards, you will find that your decisions begin to reflect this new level of expectation. You will say no to distractions and yes to discipline. You will reject mediocrity and embrace excellence. You will stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. In this process, you will discover strengths within you that you never knew existed, for it is in the pursuit of higher standards that we tap into our true potential. Let us be clear, raising your standards is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about holding yourself accountable to your highest vision and refusing to accept anything that falls short of it. It is about understanding that the world does not reward wishful thinking, it rewards determined action. So I urge you, take this message to heart. Look at every area of your life and ask yourself, what am I settling for? What do I truly want? What new standard must I adopt to create the life I desire? And then, with courage and conviction, raise that standard, hold it high, and let it guide your every decision. For when you raise your standards, you elevate your results, and in doing so, you elevate your entire life. Let this be your promise to yourself that you will never again accept less than your very best. For your future is shaped by nothing less than the standards you choose to live by. Your standards are the foundation upon which every decision you make rests. They are the silent guardians of your behavior, the quiet voice that directs your choices in every moment, whether you realize it or not. From the smallest habits to the grandest ambitions, your standards shape the quality of your life by influencing the actions you take and the paths you follow. Consider how this plays out in your daily life. When you hold yourself to high standards, you automatically make decisions that align with excellence. You choose to give your best effort in your work, to speak with kindness and respect, and to honor your commitments even when it is difficult. These choices might seem small in the moment, but they create a powerful ripple effect that shapes the direction of your entire life. Conversely, when your standards are low or undefined, you leave yourself vulnerable to inconsistency and compromise. You might find yourself making choices that serve only your short-term comfort rather than your long-term growth. You might tolerate behavior from yourself or others that you know is not worthy of the person you aspire to be. These decisions, though they may seem inconsequential, accumulate over time and build a life that reflects not your dreams, but your willingness to settle. This is why it is so vital to be conscious of your standards. They act as a compass, guiding you toward your highest potential and away from mediocrity. Every time you choose to raise your standards, you strengthen this compass, making it easier to navigate the challenges and opportunities that come your way. When faced with a decision, you no longer ask, what is easiest, or what is comfortable? Instead, you ask, what is in alignment with the best version of myself? This question alone has the power to change your life. But remember, setting high standards is only the first step. You must also have the courage to enforce them, even when it is difficult. It is easy to maintain your standards when things are going smoothly, but it is when you are tested, when circumstances are challenging or temptations are strong, that your true standards are revealed. This is the crucible in which character is forged. As you continue to live by higher standards, you will notice something remarkable. Your confidence will grow. Each decision that reflects your values and aspirations reinforces your belief in yourself. You begin to trust yourself more deeply, and others begin to trust you as well. You become known as someone who stands for something, someone whose word and actions are in harmony. So I encourage you to take this truth to heart. Your standards are not just a reflection of who you are today, but a declaration of who you will become tomorrow. Every decision you make is an opportunity to affirm this identity and move closer to the life you desire. Choose wisely, live courageously, and let your standards be the guiding light that leads you to the greatness that lies within you. Let each choice be a testament to the power of your standards and a step toward the life of purpose, integrity, and fulfillment that you deserve. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to every worthwhile achievement in life. It is the steady application of effort over time, the unwavering commitment to your values and standards, even when progress is slow or challenges are great. It is through consistency that you transform fleeting inspiration into lasting success and fleeting ideas into concrete realities. Too often, people mistake moments of enthusiasm for genuine progress. They are fired up with new goals and set bold intentions. But as soon as obstacles arise or motivation wanes, they falter and fall back into old habits. They forget that real change is not measured in days or weeks, but in the sustained, daily decisions that shape your destiny. It is not the grand gestures that matter most, but the quiet discipline to keep showing up and doing the work, even when no one is watching and the results are yet to be seen. When you are consistent, you create momentum. Each small action repeated day after day builds upon the last. It might not seem like much at first, but over time these small efforts compound into extraordinary outcomes. Think of the power of water wearing down rock not through force, but through persistent flow. Your actions are no different. With consistency, even the greatest challenges can be overcome. Consider your health, your relationships, your personal growth. In each of these areas, it is not what you do once in a while that matters, but what you do consistently. Eating one healthy meal does not change your body, but consistently nourishing yourself will. Speaking one kind word does not build a deep relationship, but consistently showing love and respect does. Reading one book will not make you wise, but consistently feeding your mind with knowledge will. Consistency also shapes your character. It teaches you to keep your word to yourself, to honor your commitments, even when it would be easier to quit. It builds resilience, for in the practice of daily discipline, you learn to push beyond the temptation to give up. You come to trust yourself and your ability to persevere, and that trust becomes the foundation of your confidence and success. Understand this: the world does not reward flashes of brilliance that fade as quickly as they come. It rewards those who show up every day, ready to do the work, ready to make steady progress toward their goals. Consistency is not always glamorous, but it is always powerful. It is the difference between a wish and a result, between a dreamer and a doer. So I urge you, commit to consistency in all that you do. Let it be the backbone of your efforts and the secret to your transformation. Do not be discouraged by how far you have to go. Focus instead on the next step and then the next, each one a testament to your resolve. In this steady rhythm of action, you will find that the life you once imagined becomes the life you now live. Let consistency be your guiding principle, and you will discover that there is nothing you cannot achieve. Surrounding yourself with high standards is one of the most powerful ways to elevate your life and reach your fullest potential. We are all influenced by the environment in which we live and the people we choose to keep close. Like a plant that grows strong and tall in rich soil, we too flourish in an environment that nurtures our growth and challenges us to reach higher. When you surround yourself with people who hold themselves to high standards, you are inspired to raise your own. Their actions, words, and values become a mirror that reflects your potential back to you, urging you to live up to it. When you choose to spend time with people who expect excellence from themselves and those around them, you begin to see that excellence is not a rare gift, but a standard way of being. You see that discipline, integrity, and hard work are not burdens, but pathways to fulfillment. You come to understand that mediocrity is a choice, and that greatness is within your reach if you are willing to embrace it. These influences can be more powerful than any motivational talk or self-help book, for they show you, through living example, what it looks like to truly live by higher standards. This is why it is so important to be discerning about the company you keep. When you spend time with people who settle for less, who make excuses or engage in negative thinking, it becomes easy to slip into those same patterns yourself. You may not even realize it is happening, but little by little, your standards will start to erode, and with them, your dreams and ambitions. But when you surround yourself with people who push themselves to be better every day, who hold themselves accountable to their values and strive for constant growth, you find yourself naturally aligning with that energy. It is not always easy to make this choice. Sometimes it requires letting go of relationships or situations that no longer serve your highest good. It takes courage to step away from what is familiar and comfortable in order to create a life that is truly aligned with your aspirations. But trust that it is worth it, for in doing so, you open the door to relationships and opportunities that will support your journey to greatness. This principle extends beyond personal relationships to every area of your life. Seek out mentors who live by the standards you admire. Read books that challenge your thinking, and spend your time in environments that spark your creativity and discipline. Let everything in your life become a reflection of the standards you have chosen for yourself. As you continue to surround yourself with high standards, you will begin to notice a profound shift within yourself. You will become more aware of your own potential and less willing to accept excuses or half-hearted effort. You will feel a deep sense of pride in the life you are creating and a growing excitement for the future. Most importantly, you will discover that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined, simply by choosing to hold yourself to a higher standard and to surround yourself with those who do the same. So I encourage you to look closely at your surroundings and ask yourself, do they reflect the person I want to become? Do they challenge me to grow and inspire me to rise higher? If not, be willing to make a change. For when you surround yourself with high standards, you build an environment where success, integrity, and purpose flourish. And in that environment, you will discover the power to become everything you are meant to be. Action is the bridge between the standards you set and the reality you create. You may have the highest standards in the world, but without consistent action, they remain nothing more than good intentions. It is through your actions, those decisions made in the quiet moments of determination and courage, that your standards become more than words and transform into the life you live. Think of action as the living expression of your standards. It is the proof that you truly believe in them. When you act in alignment with your highest standards, you affirm their power and strengthen their hold over your life. You move from wishing and hoping to doing and becoming. Each choice you make, each step you take, is an opportunity to bring your standards to life and shape your destiny with purpose. The beauty of action is that it does not require perfection. It demands only that you show up day after day, willing to do your best and learn from every experience. It is in these daily efforts, sometimes small, sometimes grand, that progress is made. You will not always get it right the first time, but with each action taken, you gain momentum and clarity. You begin to see what works and what does not, and you adjust your course with wisdom and humility. Understand that every time you choose to act in alignment with your standards, you build self-respect and confidence. You prove to yourself that you are capable of living up to the expectations you have set. You silence the inner voice of doubt and replace it with the quiet certainty that comes from knowing you are moving forward with integrity and intention. In this way, action becomes not only the vehicle for progress, but also the foundation for an unshakable belief in yourself. It is easy to be inspired by high standards, to talk about them and imagine the life they could create. But real transformation does not come from thinking alone. It comes from doing. It comes from the willingness to take the first step and then the next, even when the path is uncertain or the obstacles seem daunting. It is in this courageous movement forward that you discover your true power and potential. As you act in accordance with your standards, you also inspire those around you. Others see your dedication and your refusal to settle for anything less than your best. Your example becomes a beacon that encourages them to raise their own standards and to take bold action in their own lives. In this way, your actions have a ripple effect, touching lives and creating positive change far beyond your own. So, I urge you to take this message to heart. Do not let your high standards remain a distant dream. Let them be the fuel that drives your daily actions, the compass that guides your decisions, and the standard against which you measure your progress. Let your actions speak so loudly that there can be no doubt about the life you are committed to creating. Each day is an opportunity to turn your standards into reality. Each moment is a chance to act with purpose and determination. Do not wait for the perfect time or the ideal circumstances, for they may never come. Begin today with what you have and where you are. Trust that every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your strength and a seed planted for the future you desire. Through action, your standards come alive and your dreams take shape. In this steady march forward, you will find the fulfillment and greatness that have always been yours to claim. In conclusion, remember that your life is a reflection of the standards you choose to embrace and the actions you commit to. By raising your standards, surrounding yourself with people who inspire excellence, and taking consistent action toward your goals, you create a foundation for a life of purpose, integrity, and fulfillment. It is not enough to wish for change or to hope for better circumstances. Real transformation comes from the decisions you make each day and the unwavering commitment to hold yourself to the highest standards, even when the path is challenging. Let your actions speak for the person you are becoming and the life you are creating. As you continue on this journey, know that every small step forward, every moment of discipline, and every act of courage builds the future you desire. Choose today to live by the standards that reflect your greatest potential and to act with determination and heart. In doing so, you will not only change your own life, but also inspire those around you to rise higher and to believe in what is possible. Let this be your guiding principle, that through the power of your standards and the consistency of your actions, you hold the key to shaping a life of true greatness.